Right. So I'd like to welcome all of you, Brother Windhawk, Sister Grace, Brother Benny, Kansi, Akiki, Brother Nkrumah, Portia, Zandili, Dumas, Sister Ida, Brother Pigeon, and myself. The reason I haven't said brother or sister to Kansi and Zandili is because I don't know if you are a man or a woman. So feel free to let us know when we get to you who you are and how we can address you. We have to address you as a doctor, professor, however you want to be addressed. So welcome everyone. For those of you who watch our videos very often, today's video is going to be shorter. It's going to be an hour instead of the normal 1.5 hours to 2 hours video. The reasoning is that today is the 1st of January 2026, and we have been having a review of what went well and what we can improve or make better this year. And a few things have been drawn to our attention, and we're going to work on them. Anyone who is listening to our video online, if you would like to contribute in any way, from in any capacity, including, for example, being a social media handler or person, please contact the uploader of our videos, Brother Pigeon, who has his contact there, and we can then contact you and see how you can help us, because we want to do podcasts, we want to do short TikTok videos for about half a minute, 20 seconds, all that are in the pipeline, because we don't have the manpower or the woman power. So welcome everyone, and we're going to be today's meeting is going to be chaired by our brother Benny, who chaired the last meeting as well. We try to sometimes we do move the chairing around so more of us can get the experience to chair what is arguably one of the toughest jobs in the world, which is to chair a philosophical and ideological discussion. The reason it's tough is that it's not a free for all. You can say what you like, you can say what you think, but we will interject if we have to. Correction and feedback is live, and it's a very respectful space. We listen to everyone. We respect everyone. It's a safe space. You can say what you think. There are no repercussions, and so on and so forth. So, and what we do is we read what is on the screen, and then we go around and then we hear people share their thinking, not their opinion. We're not interested in opinion. We are interested in your thinking, what you are thinking, not what you opine. Yeah. So, Brother Benny, who is based in South Africa, is going to be sharing for us today. Brother Benny, over to you. Thank you.
Brother Kwame.
Yes, Brother Pigeon.
Greetings. Sorry for interjecting. Just
okay.
Will you be able to move the screen up a bit for me to be sure whether this is actually the paragraph you should be reading? Because I'm trying to check, and I'm finding.
Yeah, what there is in is that I've highlighted two paragraphs instead of the one you shared. That's the reason. So I shared. I highlighted the whereas. Should I make it bigger?
No, I wanted just to move. If you could move a paragraph up a bit. I know you've checked, but I'm just trying to.
Too wide.
Yeah. So this one.
Okay.
Should I move up? Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's the one we are on this paragraph.
Now, Brother Kwame.
Yes.
Brother Kwame.
Yes.
Just to bring to your attention, I think because I was in the previous class, if you move up a bit, we might not be in the right paragraph, because if I remember, just go up a bit. If I remember now, we ended with the paragraph that start with the go up a bit.
Yeah.
Just up. Now we did this paragraph. Where is it? There's a paragraph we did that started with slavery and feudalism in a society. That's the paragraph we ended with.
Yes. So
in every non-socialist. In every non-socialist society, that's the paragraph we ended with in the last session.
So this is one we should be on then, yeah?
Now, in every non-socialist is the paragraph we dealt with in the last class. So we should be in the paragraph after that.
So this might be indeed a term of contradiction. Is that correct?
And capitalism. So these are the two paragraphs probably we should be highlighting. I was trying just to check again. Sorry for that.
It's okay.
Can I ask, was this last Thursday when a lot of people might have been at Christmas?
That's correct.
Yes.
So maybe we could go over it just for 5 minutes. Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, all right. So let's go over this one. Brother Benny, I know you were with us, but go over this one first. And then, should I make it bigger? Is it okay for everyone? Is that okay, everyone? Yeah? Okay. Brother Benny, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Kwame. And thank you, Brother Pigeon, also for at least giving us the right place to move to now. Yeah, before we start, okay, we are even starting. I would prefer a lady to read what has been highlighted, and afterwards, I will want one or two people to at least give a highlight of what we studied previously, and then before we come into this one. Yeah, one lady should please read for us. A volunteer lady.
Okay, if nobody else will, I will. Sorry, thank you. In every non-society, socialist society, there can be found two strata, which correspond to that of the oppressor and the oppressed, the exploiter and the exploited. In all such societies, the essential relation between the two strata is the same as that between masters and slaves, lords and serfs. In capitalism, which is only a social political theory in which the important aspects of slavery and feudalism are refined, a stratified society is required for its proper functioning. A society is required in which the working class is oppressed by the ruling class. For under capitalism, that portion of society whose labors transform nature and produce goods is not the portion of society which enjoys the fruits of this transformation and productivity. Nor is it the whole of society which is so enhanced. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Ida. Last week, I think we were able to explain feudalism and for people to understand what actually it implies. But if anybody can still give us a highlight on that, and then we can then continue to at least give express our thinking about on what has been read today. So we don't have a lot of time. So those who can contribute, please be very fast to say something. Yeah. The previous chapter, please. Paragraph, rather. Anybody to help us?
Brother Benny?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
come in.
The key thing that was it in this chapter or the previous chapter? In this chapter, it was issues of the exploitation and the exploited. But what you are referring to, the feudalism and then the other element of slavery, was in the previous chapter, before this chapter. And it was about ownership in terms of feudalism, too much concerned with the land, while slavery was too much concerned with the possession of persons. And what I highlighted is that, of course, those two key things are very still important to us. the manpower and the resources of the land is very important to us. But at this chapter, what we looked at is when the chapter talks about non-socialist society. Probably, maybe there are so many of those societies, either they are capitalist or any other types of societies. Nkrumah was trying to actually give us how those societies survives and looks like. And those two strata were very important. The names may be changing. They are either oppressors or they are either exploiters. You see, they are either oppressed or they are either exploited. But this is a hierarchical system that exists in a society that's oppressive. And such society then means that does not maybe embody the egalitarianism that is then actually part of a socialist or so-called communal society we talk about. And this is what Nkrumah was saying. So the names also are changing, as you say. They were either masters or slaves, or either lords or serfs, in anything you talk about it. But the feudalism, as it was said now in this paragraph again, the aspect of slavery and feudalism are refined. It was very important that we know that feudalism, as what I had shared last time, and I've shared it before, was the control of land. And up to date, there's still control of land in the continent that is actually controlled by the few minorities. When slavery, as I say, was possession of human beings by other people. In fact, to them, it was their property. So human beings were also property. So sometimes we forget by saying land is the only property. But sometimes there were people who viewed human beings as their personal properties. And you know, the Abolition Act of around 1830s, when those who then were actually owning the so-called slaves or enslaved demanded that they be paid for the loss of their property. And in that case, their property was human beings. So these are also very important elements of still capitalism. And you see, even to date, those who are laboring, they're like the properties of those who have the companies, the institutions, and how they are paid and their rights and everything else. So, and that's why it's end with that those who are trying to sweat don't enjoy the fruits, and those who enjoy the fruits don't even go through the whole process. But let's remember that Nkrumah is trying here to remind us of a non-socialist society. And why he's giving this, I think it's very important that we might get to know it as we move along. Why is he trying to also point at this point? So that's what I wanted to give briefly. Sorry for taking my time.
Thank you very much for at least giving us this highlight. And so we can then tackle what is our task today. In every non-socialist society, there can be found two strata which correspond to that of the oppressor and the oppressed, the exploiter and the exploited. In such societies, the essential relation between the two strata is the same as that between master and slaves, lords and serfs. And if you look at what Brother Pigeon explained, what I like much is when he talk about the land, feudalism linking to land. And then you come to the issue of, oh my gosh, something pop up to, okay. The oppressor and the oppressed, the lord and the serf. It comes back to the context of land. Fine. I want you to just look into the paragraph and then see what you can also find, and then what what you see as what Nkrumah is trying to actually open our eyes to see and be able to compare and be able to be able to, should I say, be decisive when it comes to what kind of political model that we need to actually subscribe to or apply in our society. So I would open to other people to also come in and then give their express their thinking on the paragraph which has been highlighted. Yeah.
So you have to call us, Brother Benny. You have to call
call us. I have to call.
Yeah, you have to call us one by one. Yes.
Let me start from the bottom, rather.
And then when
let me start from the bottom.
Benny, when you call anyone and they're not ready, they might say to you, pass or come back, and then you go back to them. But you need to go around and invite people. Thank you.
But Brother Kwame,
So let me
sorry
start.
for interjection. Brother Kwame, sorry for interjection on the chair. If, because this paragraph was to be a review of what happened last time. If in case our session might focus on this paragraph to totality, then I might have a double upload of the same recording twice. And if that will go for the same paragraph twice,
fine.
also I'll be willing to be guided
on
that.
It's fine because it's the same, it's different participants. Those who were there are not all here today. So it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Let's start from the bottom. From the bottom, we have Sister Zandile. Sister Zandile. Zandile.
What do you want her to do? What do you want Sister
I wanted to
contribute. To share their thinking. To share their thinking.
Yes.
You'll have to say it, Brother Benny. Invite her to share her thinking.
Zandile.
And if she's not ready,
let me go to,
you can go to someone else and come back to her.
Yeah. I will jump to Brother Nkrumah. I think you wrote the book, so you
a quick one is that there has been an evolution of societies from slavery, feudalism, to it being refined, which becomes some form of reforms of modernization of the society, to a highly stratified society where there's an emergence of a working class, which is also equally subjected or subjugated, where its labor is exploited by transforming the material by transforming nature or land, in essence, to produce goods for the society. But the very same labor or workers do not enjoy any form of equitable distribution of wealth. They don't enjoy their own fruits by transformation and the production that they generate, and thereby, I think the essence is to demonstrate that the society is not static; it's in a constant state of change. However, what is of interest is that across a number of societies, there have been consistently a division of the society into two conflicting groups or classes, and that relates to the ownership of land, the fruits that are generated from the labor of workers, and arising from that, the very same labor, the fruits is not equitably distributed amongst the people, or more in particular, those who are responsible for the wealth that they generate, for the produce and goods that they generate from the land, that they don't enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that in itself generates and leads to an emergence of conflict and contradiction between the two prevalent social groups. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Brother Nkrumah. Any other view? Let me check a lady now. Who is there? Sister Chisomo. Sister Chisomo.
Sorry, I'll pass for now.
Okay. Then we come to Brother Kansi. Brother Kansi. Brother Kansi. Okay, then we go to PCA has put a cross. Brother Kansi, okay, you're up now.
Yes. I beg your pardon the question.
Share your thinking, please.
For now, let's first continue. Today I have nothing to contribute much, but I'm learning on those things of feudalism.
Okay. His sister Zandile is not there now. Okay. Okay. Any Sister Ida, can you share your thinking?
Okay, and there's also Sister Portia. But my thinking is that I'm interested in this two strata because I think that though it says that they're two strata and they're making it the exploiter and the exploited, I think that even the exploited might end up having their own strata where they're also exploiting others if they get the chance. So I find this two strata bit interesting, but I think it probably goes further. And I also find the bit about, nor is it the whole of society which is enhanced by the goods produced. That labor transforms nature and produces goods, but it's not the whole of society that will benefit. And I think we find that more and more today, especially on the continent, where you have to work to have any form of, well, you have to work if you want money, if you don't have the means of production, which is the land. So I think that then adds, even though they talk about two stratas, I think there are other stratas there in today's society. So I think that's what I would say. Thank you.
Please, would you clarify on the other strata, if you don't mind?
Well, I think that the other strata are, okay, the very wealthy might be able to employ people, and that makes two stratas. But the people who aren't very wealthy will also employ other people, and that makes it, they might not, they won't be able to pay the same as what the wealthier strata might pay them. So I think that though there's an oppressor and the oppressed, there's also other people who are being oppressed even greater than those they're talking about here that are being oppressed.
And if I may add to what Sister Ida is saying, so Sister Ida, I think what she's saying, and correctly so, is that if you look within the exploited class, you find within it elements also of intra-class exploitation. So, for instance, if some of those exploited are, let's take a random example, they, for example, are suppliers of drugs, for instance, they might have drug peddlers situated in parts of the city who they also exploit. Or this is not a popular example, but it's still a form of exploitation, and that is that the priests or the minister of the gospel who is leading a church and who is not really working, and the workers in the church who go out to work, when they come on Sunday, this pastor or this minister then gets them to donate their hard-earned money, even though they have been exploited by the boss. Yet they have to share that small money with the pastor. So you find pastors who are also exploiting their congregation. I think this is a big thing. Somebody has mentioned it in the past, that we find our ministers living very, very exotic lives, whilst their members are very poor. So that's what Sister Ida is drawing our attention to. what we can also then see is that if we look into the exploiter class as well, if you look within the capitalist class also itself, you also find the same intra exploitation, which I remember Marx described as the centralization of capital. So, for instance, the industrial class of capitalists find that they are under the mercy of the finance capitalists because the finance capitalists are the one that's going to decide whether to invest or to give a loan to the industrial capitalist to set up the factory. Now, the finance capitalist doesn't work. All he is doing is giving money to the industrial capitalist, and yet he also wants a share of the profits as interests. So I think Sister Ida is drawing our attention to if you like, open the box called the exploiter class, and you see there are also in there competition for resources, which also can be expressed as exploitation. And she's also said that if you look also within the exploited class, you also find this tendency. However, we can still say that those two broad tendencies are there, because however much you are exploited by a member of your own class, it is still exploitation. So the capitalist class work together, even though they are exploiting one another and us, they are still the exploiter class. And then all of us who are not working, or those who are of us working, who are exploited by our own people, the guy who knocks at your door and sells you something for I don't know, for an arm and a leg when it should not be that expensive. And in Ghana, it used to be called kalabule, where you buy something, you sell it at the exorbitant price. They are also basically exploiters. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Kwame, for.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Let me see. Sister PCA is still. Portia is not ready still.
But a woman has spoken, so it goes to a man. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. PCA, Portia. Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay. Continue, please.
Elder, I can speak after, pardon about the stop. I can speak after a brother. No problem, Elder.
Yeah, I think it's the turn of a woman now, so you can continue.
I actually just came in to clarify. I haven't shared my thinking yet. So I think Sister Portia is right. Sister I spoke, and so a brother has to speak, and then Sister Portia. I will come in whenever I think is right to clarify things. Okay. That's all. Yeah, thank you.
Brother Coco, I'm sure you at least you have gone through the book already. So can you share your thinking, please? Brother Coco. Is anyone else ready? Brother Pigeon. Brother Pigeon.
No, brother, I think Brother Benny, I shared my thinking when I was trying to do a recap at the beginning. So you can go to the next person, please.
I think you clarified the previous one, and so if it doesn't make any difference, if you still feel like you have something more to say. Yeah.
No, please pass for now. Please pass.
Okay. Brother Kansi, are you ready to share? Brother Kansi. Brother Kansi. Anyone else, please?
Sister Portia had a hand.
Who?
Sister Portia.
Portia, please. If your hand is up, please carry on.
Hold on. Can you not see the members, Brother Benny?
Yeah, but no, I didn't see Portia was off.
I know.
Yeah.
What I'm asking is, can you see the list of
Yes, I can see the list.
So
Yes, I can see the list.
just go by that list rather than saying anybody else. Just go by that. Whoever has not spoken, you call them. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, Sister Portia.
Thank you.
Sister Portia.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Elder. Greetings, everybody, again. All right. So, as usual, I'll go sentence by sentence. This is one paragraph. In the first paragraph, it's saying that there are levels to, basically in a capitalist society. Doesn't say that, but in a capitalist society, there are levels. And I want to just come back in a few minutes to give my two comments. But by just looking at this paragraph, sentence 1, in a capitalist society, there are levels to that capitalist society. And you have, for example, oppressed and oppressor, exploited and the exploiter. And then the second sentence is a rephrasing of that first sentence. The third sentence is breaking down a bit more of this capitalism by saying that it's focused on social and economic. It's a social economic theory. And if you go into that and just look at it from how it is now at capitalist stage, it started at feudalism, then it went to enslavement, and now it's at capitalism. The fourth sentence goes on to say that those levels of capitalism, in order to make them work, you need those oppressed people, but it actually now names them, which is working people. And their labor transforms nature, in terms of nature, like minerals or produce, anything that can give an economic profit. It transforms them to be enjoyed by the oppressors or the exploiters. And then the last sentence says a key phrase that capitalist society is not enhanced. So even though feudalism, arguably enslavement, and now capitalism happened, it's actually not a progression. And the next paragraphs go into that about how it's a contradiction. So to that, my comment is that my opinion is that capitalism is not just a social
Your thinking, please.
Oh, yes, my thinking. Now, that is what the text said that I've just said. But my 2 points or my thinking is, one, I concur with what Sister Ida stated, and then Prof clarified more about those levels. And then my comment is this idea, my opinion, that this idea that capitalism is a social political theory, I would add in religious theory. And the reason why I say it's a religious theory is that when you look at the capitalist system, when it was being formed, because it came out of England, it very much rooted its agenda in religion protection. So in other words, that time the religion was written to say this was okay to do. And then my other comment, I hear a lot about saying that, the reason why people, and you know where my situation is, and I say it on purpose, I'm homeless. I don't have anything to take care of myself monetarily. And if you look in the United States of America, and I don't have that right now, that doesn't mean I will not have it. But when you look at the United States of America, a person who sees me, they will think that I have nothing to contribute because I have no money, and they will look at me as a failure. Well, when you look at it from the capitalist theory, that makes sense. But again, that next paragraph will show it's actually a contradiction. It actually is a contradiction that in a society that is saying that if you work and you till the land, you will be prosperous. When you see a capitalist system, people who do that, they still go hungry. So when we go and look into the ancient culture of Africa, we see that economic poverty never existed. And I don't say that as a brag. I say that as a matter of fact. Thank you.
Thank you too. Yeah. Brother Kansi, Brother Kwame, do you have any comment on that? Brother Kwame.
Yeah.
Do
you mean my thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, my thinking.
Sister Posh, yes.
No, Sister Posh has shared her thinking. Let me also share mine.
Okay.
So my thinking is that the paragraph is asking us to think about a lot of things. So in every non-social society, if there can be found two strata, then Sister Ida's point is, if you take Ghana or Uganda or Burkina Faso, will you find these two strata there? Because they are not socialist societies. Will you find these two strata there? Would you find oppressors and oppressed in the neo-colonial territories of Africa? Would you find exploiters and exploited? And can we say that in these societies, that the essential relation between the two strata is the same as that between masters and slaves, lords and serfs? Is the relationship between the president of a country and the workers of that country, can we say that is one of master and slave? Can we say that the relationship between the imperialists and the neo-colonial presidents, are they that of master and slave? Are the presidents slaves to the imperial system, or into imperialism? When Tinubu orders a military jet to bomb soldiers in Benin to support France, is he or is he not a slave? Is he or is he not a serf? Is he or is he not taking orders? So in capitalism, and what is capitalism? Well, we are told it's a socio-political theory. What is a theory? A theory is a set of ideas like that explain something, that try to throw light on something that needs to be understood. So, as a theory, what is capitalism? What is capitalism? So, from what we are reading, the essence of capitalism is that it polishes slavery and feudalism, it refines it, keeps the strata, keeps the stratification, polishes the slave to now look like a worker, but that worker is still a slave. Polishes feudalism, which is the ownership of the means of production. Polishes it. So instead of working on the land, you can now work in a factory. You can now work in an office. You can now work here and there. So you don't look like a slave, but you are still a slave. And you have workers, and here it is important we differentiate between the workers and the ruling class. So there are many people in society who don't work. Not everyone is a worker. Some people want to work, but they can't find work. Even those who are working, some of them are underemployed. I mean, they don't have enough work to do. And so you have this the oppressed, this working class, who do all the work. They do all the work. But they have to look after the aged. They have to look after children. They have to look after people who have to go to school, because children have to go to school, some of them anyway. Not all of them are in school. They have to look after those in school. They have to look after those who have retired, but they still have to eat. They have to look after the sick, and so on. And then they have to look after also the ruling class, who basically rule society. So work is meant to transform society, so that society becomes better. So instead of roaming the forest looking for food, now we grow crops. We harvest the crops. The crops come in. It's meant to make us a better society. But as Sister Portia has reminded us, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't, if not most times. Some people still go hungry. There are people who go hungry, people who haven't eaten today. The whole day today, they haven't eaten anything. There are people who don't have access to water. People have been walking miles and miles looking for water, and they haven't got water. Some of us have access to water, and so on and so forth. So we find that Africa has not been enhanced for the last 50 years since we fought for colonial independence. So what has gone wrong? So Nkrumah is drawing our attention to this. And I think what Nkrumah is saying is that if we can get it right by having a socialist society, because I think the implication of the paragraph is that if you have a socialist society, then if we see it as the invocation of African humanism, by which we mean that the human being is the wealth, is the center. He or she must be looked after. He or she must be well fed. He or she must have health. He or she must be educated. He or she must have the opportunity to live in a better dwelling, to drink water, to be safe, to be healthy, to have work that is developing, that enhances their skills and their knowledge and their potential, that they can become whoever they want to be because of the opportunities and so on. That if we have such a society, then it'll be better for us as Africans. I mean, from what I can see, this capitalist society is not a good one for us. Go look at all it's saying about this capitalist society. So I'll pause there. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Kwame. I will link that to what Sister Portia stated that capitalism is a religious theory, and Brother Kwame tried to explain what a theory is. I always prefer to say that theory is a kind of structures which may be important for some time, but also can be phased out. So it means that even if capitalism has served a purpose for some time, it has come to a time that we need to relook at it, but then it becomes religious in the sense that it is static. It doesn't want to adapt. It doesn't want to change. It doesn't want to respond to the need for a socialist context now, or a socialist paradigm now, because human population has grown and you cannot continue to keep a lot of people in a subservient roles or position when they can actually play more significant role when we consider socialism in its way of restructuring society and then enabling people also to express themselves in a more better way. Yeah. So who else can also contribute? Who else hasn't? Brother Coco, are you ready now? Yeah, Brother Coco. Brother Coco.
May I?
Yes, please. Yeah, please share your thoughts.
Okay. I am overjoyed to hear Queen Sister Portia's voice after a while. This is good news. We're talking about non-socialist societies, but I think we need to understand first what a socialist society is, for us to understand what a non-socialist society is. So, put simply, a socialist society is where an economic and political system is centered on collective or public ownership of the means of production, factories, resources, with the goal of spreading wealth more evenly and ensuring social equality, which contrasts significantly with a capitalist society or non-socialist society. So once that has been put forth, it becomes clear that what the paragraph is saying, don't look at capitalist society as the end all and be all of the best of an economic society or socio-political society, because it has all of those characteristics which he's picking out as non-socialist. He's showing that there's a master serf, there is a master slave, or as in feudalism where they were the serfs and the masters. So all of these tick the boxes of a capitalist society, which falls squarely in the camp of the non-socialist society. So he is taking us back to what he had said before, that in the non-socialist society, those who actually plant the foods, those who work hard, are not necessarily the ones who harvest, who benefit from the produce at the end. This is what capitalism is about, is how much money you can get and how much profit you can get, not how many people can benefit from whatever it is that you invest in. So there is no equity when it comes to capitalism. There's no equitable distribution of whatever the benefits are of work. So people can work, but it's who get what at the end. Who gets what at the end? And in the capitalist society, it's extremes in that case, because people work, as Kwame has said and Sister Portia has said, they can work, but not even get enough to eat or get enough to put a roof over their heads. But some of those people who have invested the capital, they do get massive amounts, everything in other cases. So there is that slavery system refined to feed the capitalism that we see today. And I think we have to realize that he was trying to reframe our thinking to say capitalism is not not everything that shines is gold. Let's just put it that way. Thank you, comrade.
Thank you, Brother Coco.
Brother Benny, I want to ask
yes,
Brother Coco a question.
Okay.
I think Brother Nkrumah has his hand out, just so you know. Brother Coco, in terms of ownership, you said, is it public ownership and what? Is it private ownership?
Under capitalism is private ownership
and then public
and
ownership.
profit motivation.
Okay, so
under socialism.
Yeah. So, what is public ownership? If you don't mind me asking, how do you see public ownership?
So public ownership in this case, we are talking about an ownership of means of production, which is not by private. It's not privately owned. It's owned by many people. It could be, as in some other cases, I think in Burkina Faso, they were saying they were trying to develop that into district ownership or provincial ownership. But in this case, we are talking about, even in a socialist environment, it means a lot of people come together to own that whatever means of production it is. It's not just one private owner.
Yeah.
It's few limited
yeah.
private owners. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a society of 100 people, for argument's sake, if all those individuals own as individuals,
yeah,
if those all own their farm, everybody owns their own farm.
Yes.
Is that public ownership, or is that private?
So in that case, we have taken the land, and that land has been distributed equally across all of those people. So you could argue that's a public ownership of the land. Yes.
Yeah, even though it's owned
in a private ownership. Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, it can still be. There are some fine lines in other cases, but is more of where is there and are you getting what you are putting in? So if all of you have the farms, then you are producing, getting the benefit of your sweat. In short.
Yeah. What I'm trying to
capitalism
get at
is not the same.
Yeah. What I'm trying to get at is, does it cease to be capitalism if individuals own the means of production? What is it that makes it capitalist? Is it the fact that it's owned by individuals, or is it because it is owned by a few individuals? That is what I'm trying to get at in your definition. That's what I'm trying to get at. Am I making sense?
You do. You're making sense. So, so capital. Why is it called capitalist? It's because capital now is being protected. It's being protected above all else. It's being protected about wealth.
Yeah.
I mean, about
focus
welfare,
on
the welfare of the society.
But focus on ownership rather than protection. Focus on who owns the means of production.
Can I? Prof, may I?
Sorry, was someone else?
It's up to Benny.
Go ahead,
come on, Benny. You are the one chairing.
Yeah.
He's asking you to come in.
Whose hand is up? Whose hand is up? Is that Kansi?
No,
Brother,
that is
Okay, come in, and then if it is directed at the Brother Koko's one, come in, please.
Yeah, my understanding is that the distinction between a capitalist system from a socialist system. In a socialist system, the emphasis is around the workers to be involved in the ownership of the means of production to determine production and distribution of wealth. Other theoreticians will speak about a socialist state being, or a system where the majority, which is the workers, become directly involved and thereby democratically creating a dictatorship of the working class. That becomes a socialist system. In a capitalist system, I think it has been explained, where you've got a few who owns the means of production and are also driven by profit motive, or what others will call surplus value. And the few, which is capitalist or bourgeoisies, who have got control over the means of production and thereby having direct access to and chasing the control of surplus value, become the exploiting class, become the oppressive class, and therefore become the ruling class in a capitalist society. In a socialist society, the ruling class becomes the working class, because in that particular case, you've got workers in majority being directly involved in the production, control and ownership of the means of production, and also being the ruling class. that will, for me, become the fundamental distinctions of the two social arrangements that will explain the two social political theories, that is socialism and capitalism. Just to respond to the question based on my understanding.
Before I let those who raise their hand come in, let me express my thinking here that for me, it comes to the role of land and the land governance, whereby under capitalism, it is a permanence for an individual, and then it comes to socialism, which can be a bit soft. Either it belongs to the state, and in the case of Africa, where you have the land tenure system, that you don't own the land forever. At least, even though you can use it for a long time and stay on it for as long as you want, but then you are not the owner of the land. The land belongs to all of us, you see. And then we in the same way, you have socialism, which has been, if we take Stalinism, for instance, China adapted it to suit its context. Cuba adapted it to suit its context. We have places like Scandinavia, which don't come out clearly, but we know that they practice socialism. And in that case, the society is structured that even salaries, what you earn and everything is controlled by the state. And for that matter, excess is, moved into the state for redistribution. You see, so it depends on what how we say that, okay, we want to go socialism, but then within Africa, how do we practice socialism? And I think that is what Nkrumah is actually trying to help us to come to a point how we Africans would apply socialism within the African context. Yeah, so, well, those who have raised, Sister Ida, I think your hand has been on for a long time. Sister Ida.
The time for us is gone, so I think I'll just wait.
Yeah, so please, we have 2 minutes, but Kwame, can we add just 5 minutes so that 2 hands can say something?
Yeah, it's up to members. Yeah,
okay.
We don't normally go beyond our time, but yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay, quickly, Sister Ida, say something first, and then we can.
Okay. Well, I loved what Sister Portia was telling us until her very last sentence. And then it just rang bells to me because she said something about the fact that in the past this would not have happened. You know, that there wouldn't have been capitalism or socialism. But then it rang other bells to me that in the past there would probably have been a lot of the same sort of thing going on between male and female, in that one would have been above another. And though occasionally females may speak out and stuff, more often than not, they're likely to have been oppressed by the male grouping in society. So that I was just being controversial, but it literally rang bells in my head. Sorry?
That depends on whether it's a matriarchal society or a patriarchal society.
Yes, I agree with you.
African countries mainly have been matriarchal societies, so women were not dominated. The domination of women came from external sources. Yeah.
Whoa. I think that women have always been dominated, even in those patriarchal societies.
Not historically, Sister Ida, but we can look at that another time.
Okay.
That time, yeah. We can look at that another time.
Well, I agree with Prof on this one.
Brother Kansi, can you just be very fast? Brother Kansi, can you be very fast? Brother Kansi. But the hand is up. Brother Kansi. Okay, if you can't hear me, then I will. Brother Kansi.
No, he's dropped out, Brother Benny, he's dropped out. He's trying to come back.
Okay. At this stage, I think we have come to the end, and I would hand over to Brother Kwame to just take over, and then
thank you. But Benny, you are learning. Well done. you need more practice. Let's go to Brother Pigeon to make the announcements, and then we'll bring the meeting to a close. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you all, and thank you, Brother Benny, for your chairship, and members who have contributed. Thank you very much for your time, your attention, and your contribution as well. This is marking our first session on the first date of the so-called 2026. It's very nice that we have a session on the beginning of the year, and it appears to be very positive. The positive energy that you are approaching this year with, based on our conversation. As usual, it will be actually the 344 recording on our YouTube channel. We are still left with around, this chapter has around 85 to 86 paragraphs, and we are almost in paragraph almost 53 to 54. And we are looking forward to engage more and more people. So the recordings will be available as well by the end of this weekend. And the last week's recordings are equally available on our YouTube channel. So on Saturday, probably Brother Kwame will communicate what we'll be discussing on that Saturday.
Well, we know what we discussed. Brother, Brother Benny is bringing someone to speak on. Brother Benny, tell us more about Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah, I will speak on understand, which the day I presented the issue of understanding. I will take it as a whole topic from Max Neef, and then within the context of conscientism, and then Sister Zandile, who was in but he has to leave, will also look at something around spirituality within the context of what we are, conscientism and the unification aspects. So that is what I mean. She is Kwame, I think I've forgotten what I sent to you. She has studied I think social entrepreneurship, and but she is into African spirituality. In fact, I've spoken to her, and she's amazing. She speaks in terms of what actually could be a solution in the metaphysical sense. And I think similar to Brother Nanaya that came, I think we need to hear something also from her, so that it will help us as we carry on in within this new year as we go on. I think we should be more of more focused on solution oriented in the way. Thank you, Kwame. Yeah, Kwame, I'm done.
Brother Pigeon is the one.
Brother Pigeon, sorry, Brother Pigeon, please. I'm done.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, with the fact that now what we'll be discussing is very clear. So let's meet on Saturday, same time. I
will send to you everything to you maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Tomorrow rather. I'll send everything to you.
Okay. Comrades, we have thank you very much, Brother Benny, and you have taken into consideration, Brother Kwame, the comments that were raised in the first session, and we are actually looking forward to follow them up so that we can actually implement whatever ideas that were brought in. And as also been mentioned, we are still calling upon for many people who are willing to come and actively help us push some of the few things up and down. Because there's a lot, actually. The unification demands a lot. So please, if you think that there's some skills, as Sister Portia said, and anybody else, that you can help contribute your time, your resources, or your skills, please get in touch so that we can have this year at least clearing most of the things that are pending and things that you're carrying forward to this year. So having said that, as I've said, we will share the poster for the Saturday, and all this recording will be available. Next Thursday, we'll move from where we've stopped, and the Monday sessions will be going on. I'll take also in consideration what Sister Grace has raised in terms of the Monday sessions. And yes, that is the end of this. So have a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, from wherever you're joining us, and please, let's meet on Saturday. For those who have joined us for the first time, please, you're welcome. Thank you for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, indeed. Brother Nkrumah, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate that. We hope to see you soon. Brother Pigeon will link you up so that we can have a further chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us. And Kansi as well. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.